You know, when I started decoding this place about, let's see how long, February 2012, everybody said, "You're crazy, you're crazy, what's wrong? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" And I got resistance the whole time. And it took me a while. 2017, I was decoding time. I watched all the time travel movies. You're actually stuck. You don't want to be a time traveler. You already are a time traveler. You're stuck in time. And so you want to step out of time. And the way you step out of time is the archetypes. You see the archetypes, and it's outside of time. That's the mind of Christ, fractal hologram. And so when you start to rise up out of the 3D matrix and you get your knowledge, your fractal, holographic, eternal mindset, knowledge, the mind of Christ, as you rise up, especially when you start out, there's a lot of people, they stay there. They choose to stay there. Your friends, family, whatever. And you have to leave people behind. If God is calling you to see something deeper, you want His wisdom, you're rising up in your knowledge, your awareness, your consciousness, whatever you want to call it, spiritually. And so as you're rising up in your awareness, and everybody else loves the 3D Play-Doh land, it's just cartoonish. And so when you see it's like Jerry Springer. The 3D cartoon is Jerry Springer land, and most people love Jerry Springer. On the job, relationships, family, bloodline, news, media, politics. And so most people are stuck in this level. And they don't know there's other levels. And so as you rise up into freedom, financially, mentally, healthy, spiritually, emotionally, as you rise up in that freedom, and they're stuck down here in the Play-Doh land, Play-Doh. Actually, the best way to see this place is the movie, the cartoon series Reboot. Watch that and you see it. But everything's telling you the same truth. So it's right in front of you. And so as you rise up in your consciousness, your awareness, your spiritual knowledge, just see that it's all Christ. Today I had a thought. The smoke of their torment rises forever as a sweet smelling offering. So if the end state of the evil person is a sweet smelling offering forever and ever, the smoke of their torment rises forever as a sweet smelling offering. So if the end game of the evil person is to burn up and be an offering forever, then this whole thing is an offering. Take up your cross, right? Present your bodies a living sacrifice. So this whole thing is an offering. And so if everybody's stuck down in 3D land, toys and vacations and worried about what somebody thinks, and I got to buy the next widget and car and clothes and pocketbook and wallet and suit and tie and dress and all that. If everybody's just worried about the next big thing, but they don't ever think about the eternal, they're stuck down here in the matrix. And as a consumer, instead of rising up out of that, if the wicked are burning forever as a sweet smelling offering, that tells you this whole thing is an offering. Present your bodies a living sacrifice. This whole reality is an offering to God. When you say thank you, it's like giving God the glory, because you're thinking back to the cross. Everything's a projection from the cross. Is the servant greater than the master? If Jesus presented himself and whatever the Father told him to do, he did it. Even though when you see Jesus, you see the image of the Godhead bodily. But he walked it out down here. He embodied his spiritual identity down here. So when you embody your spiritual identity, then these 3D creatures have to attack you, because they see you're in peace, because you live in the archetypes. You don't live in the drama. the Draco-Ma drama, Draconian machine. So the Draconian machine is drama, D-R-A-Ma. So the machine hates when you're up here because they want you upset like they're upset and worried and all that. But when you manage your ship and you set boundaries, because you know these people will try to pull you down into chaos. So you maintain your body ship, your business ship, whatever ship, and you stay up here. And if you can hear what I'm saying, you can escape the matrix. Because everything is an offering. Everything is a living sacrifice. And it's not just, when you're dealing with somebody else, it's reciprocal. It's not just one way. If the other person wants it just to be one way, they're selfish. And you can't live or dwell with a selfish person. You can't even function. If they're lost, don't go into business with them. If they're lost, don't marry them. If they're lost, don't hang out with them too long, because bad company corrupts good morals, right? And so the more you hang out with them, the way they talk, life and death's in the power of the tongue. Listen to the way they talk. If everything out of their mouth is a curse word, they're probably going to get cancer. Because I worked with a dude, everything out of his mouth was curse word. Now he's got cancer. Heard that through the grapevine. Life and death's in the power of the tongue. And if all they're doing is cursing, and all they're doing is being unthankful and miserable and complaining, I walked into work today, somebody was sitting on the bench. She said, I don't like people who complain all the time and say, I can't do this, I can't. She says, why don't they just go get a part-time job? I said, exactly. I said, they complain because, I don't know why. Get up out of bed. I mean, I told her, I know what I told her. I said, yeah, they go home after work and watch TV for 4 hours when they could have been making some money to get out of debt and get out of their situation. The secret to getting out of debt and all is start fasting and praying and focus on one thing at a time. Let's say you have one credit card that's $500, another one's $1,000. Pay off the $500 as soon as you can, and renew the $1,000 for a year with 0% interest. Start paying it off. Pay the $500. Work extra hard this week. Pay it off this week, and then roll the other one over and work extra hard for 2 months and pay it off in a month or two. It's not complicated. And if somebody's trying to make your life complicated, they're not your friend. If they're trying to take away your peace, make your life complicated, they're not on your team. They're actually an enemy. And they probably are sent by the devil to try to stress. Anybody who's trying to stress you out when there's no need for it, it's probably the enemy. A 99% chance it's the enemy working through that person. They might have good intentions, but they don't even know they're controlled by they don't even know they're being controlled by the spirit of the air, the demonic spirit. I was actually seeing if I reverse my age. I've been doing some fasting after I eat lunch. I didn't even eat last night till the next morning, so 12 or 1 o'clock lunch. I didn't really eat anything till 8 o'clock this morning. So that's quite a long fast. You can actually reverse your age with fasting. And I decoded that too, because think about the word fast. when you're in a cycle repeat, that is the aging process, right? You're so many years old, the cycle, right? So when you break the cycle by fasting, you're in steady state. The more you fast, the younger you get. Now you've got to get your nutrients, but do 1 or 2 meals a day and do that for 6 months, see what happens. You'll reverse your age, you'll feel better, and cut back sugar. That's the main thing, is cutting back sugar. Sugar is your enemy. I didn't believe it until I experimented with it, and that's what it was. It's always sugar. Sugar, it causes inflammation.